Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to do Leetcode daily challenge, Champagne Tower. So let us first read this question, then about the constraint. Then from those examples we will check that how we are required to do this question, and then finally the coding part for the same. So let us first read this question. So here, okay. So we stack glasses in a pyramid where first row has one glass, the second row has two glasses, and so on until 100th row. Basically, we are creating with some 100 rows which would be there. Mm. And each glass holds one cup of champagne. So that is the thing, means here whatever would be there, it will be having just one. Then other, here one would be there, then one would be there, like that only, and so on up till 100 rows. Here it is zeroth row, here it is first row, and here it is second row. Then some champagne is poured into the first glass at the top. When the topmost glass is full, any excess liquid poured will fall equally to the glass immediately to the left and the right of it. So basically, here the other glasses which are there. Oh, clear it, Bura. Basically other glasses which would be there. So if we have two glasses being poured in this particular, right? So one would be in this only, and the other two glasses will get half of the other one. So basically this is what the other two glasses will get from this one glass. If we pour two glasses into the topmost glass, then when those glasses become full, any excess champagne will fall equally to the left and the right to those glasses, and so on. And like this, all other glasses, means if any excess is there, so it will fall equally to other, and then this will fall equally to other two. And basically this will get half of this and half of this, means one full glass again it will get, if 50-50 was there in both of them. Then a glass at the bottom row has its excess champagne fall on the floor. So basically whatever is at the 100th row, so whatever excess would be there, that will fall on the floor. Means basically it can contain at max one glass only, other would fall on the floor. So for example, after one cup, so this example I've already told you here. So this is what they are explaining. Now comes the next part about the coding, means basically first about the constraint. So here we can see that constraint are that at max 10 raised to power 9 glasses could be poured into the same, and the number of glasses and rows are 100. So because of this, we can easily go ahead with some solution which can easily contain whatever is being poured and so on. So now for that purpose, let us first check the a list of the examples which are there. So as per those examples, we will proceed then. So, so the input which is being given to us, so input is 4 equals to 1 query row and query class. So basically this would be the row and the class for which we are required to give our answer. So now, as in the question it was mentioned that each class can hold just one glass, right? So here these would hold at max 1 and this would also hold at max 1. But if there is something excess, then equally, means basically half of that would be poured here and half of that would be poured here. So that would be the thing. Now from our own analysis, if we can see that the next glass won't get any liquid, right? When pour is equal to 1. So that's why here the answer would be completely 0. Now for this row 1 and glass 1, right? When we pour two glasses, right? So one would be contained here, right? But the other other one means basically if we minus from this, right? Means one glass being minus, so it will become one. But it is equally poured here also and here also. So basically each glass will get half from that. And because now it is having half quantity, so it can't overflow, right? So because of that only it won't go to next, and whatever quantity is being contained here, that would stay here. And that is why the answer would be 0.5 for this particular. And now if we take some other example by our own, whatever was mentioned there, that was somehow difficult to picturize. So that's why I took one more example just to explain. So basically here, if we pour four glasses, right? So if we take here, if we take one glass, it would be poured here, right? Then the second, then one more if we pour, so it will pour being equally to both of them, right? And then if we pour the third glass, then again equally it will be poured here, right? So basically till now three glasses would be completely consumed. But there are four glasses, right? So one more glass when we pour it. So again, half would be poured here, right? But the thing is that it is already full. So basically, as it was already full, so it will get the 50% of what we poured here, right? And 50% would be poured here, right? But out of those 50%, half would be overflowed to this and half would be overflowed to this. So that's why this glass will get 0.25 and this glass will also get 0.25. And from this glass, it will again get the 0.25 and from this glass again it will get 0.25. So that's why the mid glass will get 0.50 and the first and the third glass will get 0.25. So this was explanation regarding the examples which is there, and somehow from here you would be now getting that how we are required to pour each of the glass. So basically from all this analysis for each cup we need q minus 1 by 2 to be added up. And what is q here? Q basically represent the quantity which is being there at that moment of time. And it will start from the topmost and seep to the downwards. So now we are required to use this thing in our coding part. And now the thing is that how we would be using. Because here we can clearly see that here we are having row and columns which are there. So now in that context, we can easily use a 2D array or 2D vector where we will be having the count of row and the column and what each row and column basically at that particular coordinate, whatever glass is present, that would be filled and how much quantity would be there. And because here we can clearly see that this 0.25 and 0.25 was required to be added up, right? Because it got from both of these glasses, right? So because of that only, whatever we are getting, we will be adding up for each of the glasses. So now let us go ahead for the coding part for the same. So whatever you would have not understood, you will get to know more when we will be going to code. So now the thing is that see here because rows and column both are into picture, right? So that's why now we will be going ahead and taking up some array. So here why we are taking double because here we are required to return the double type, right? And also we will be dividing for the same. So that's why rather than taking integer, let us take double directly. So the array type would be double and now uh, let us take and it marks here as you can see it marks rows and glasses could be 10, right? So let us take 2 as some extra number only and then this one and we will be initializing it with 0.0 because it is the double type, right? Now at the starting moment only means basically the 00 means I want to convey for this particular class whatever was there we will be pouring into the same. For that purpose, we will first typecast it to double and whatever is there in this variable, we will be directly putting it into the same. So this would be the thing. Now comes the part that how we are required to go ahead and fill up our classes for the next operation. So for that purpose, what we are going to do is, here let us start from the first row, that is r is equal to 0, and then till what we are required to go is basically till the query row, which is being mentioned in our input, because we require for that only. And then we will be doing, and for the purpose of our classes which are there, basically classes are acting as the columns. So that's why in C equals to 0 means starting from the first class, and then we will be going ahead till that row, and then incrementing the C. And now let me explain you that why not less than r and y equals less than equals to r. See, when we are at the zeroth row, right? So at that point we are having just one class. So if c is equals to 0, and if we don't do it as, and then at that point it will completely go ahead, but that next time it's fine, it won't check for the same. But then when we go for the next here, then at that point it will skip out one of the class. So that's why we are required to go ahead with the equals to here. Now comes the part that now we are required to check that what is the quantity there. So for that, we are taking this q variable which is representing the quantity. And now what we will be doing here is an RC means at that point whatever is there. And then we will be subtracting that one class count, means that the topmost class count which is there. And after subtracting that and taking the half of that. So if we have quantity basically greater than 0, then only it will overflow, right? If we don't have that much, then it won't overflow. So in that context only, we will be going ahead and checking that if our q is basically greater than 0, then only we will be performing that for each of the left and the right class in the next row, whatever quantity we can add up. So now for next row, we are required to go ahead with r plus 1. And the class, this class is the first class, that is the zeroth class. So we will be simply adding up the quantity, means basically the half of that which is there. And in that row only, means the next row only, we are required to go ahead with the next class. Basically, the one which is at the right part of that particular. So here again we will be adding up the quantity, and I already explained why we are adding up and just not assigning, because the thing is that one glass can get at max from two glasses, right? So that's why we are adding up the quantity. And then because of all this, see here at this point we have put the value as completely what was there, right? But the thing is that all after we pour the this much portion which was there from that glass, so we are required to uh, get its value corrected, means it can at max store just one glass, right? So that's why we are making it as RC equals to 1. So that is the thing. And like this only, so this was for the first glass which was there, means here and here it was done. And then if it gets some more quantity, then it will flow to the next points, and then it will go ahead. And then this is how it will be filling up all the glasses which are there. And as we have taken this array, so basically at the end, what we would be required to return is, we will be just returning whatever is being asked in our question regarding this query row and query class. So at this point, whatever value would be stored, that would we will be returning. So now let me explain you, means basically let me show you the dry run for the same so that you get more better explanation about the same. So let me show you from that fourth example only. It's the one which we have taken there. Four and then uh 2 and 1. Basically 4 quantity is being poured. So now here at the starting the value would be 4, right? So when we enter this row and our query row is basically going up to 2. So our query row basically is 2, right? And now at r is equal to 0. So c is equal to 0 and r is equal to 0, right? So here at the starting moment it will be having the quantity, this one with whatever was there, means 4 is there, right? So it will be having the quantity 4 minus 1, that would be 3 and divided by 2. So whatever is there, so it will go here. 1 minute. So basically at that this point we will be doing this 4 minus 1 and divided by 2, that will come out to be 1.5, and then this 1.5 which is there, so that will be poured to our next glasses which is there, means this one in the first row which is there, we are taking the first row as a zeroth row, then the second row is being as the first row. So now here just the next row which is there, so it will get 1.5 and this will get also 1.5, right? And the first one which was there, means at the starting it will be having just 1. Basically whatever extra quantity was there, that we have poured to the next levels. Now this was when c was equals to 0 and now r is equals to 0, right? So because of that only when it incremented, so it will check, so it will be having equals to 0. So now next it won't execute. Now again it will come to r equals to 1. So when it's r equals to 1, so at that particular point, now at c equals to 0, now again it now we are having 1.5, right? So we will be doing the same 1.5 and then we will be dividing it by 2. So now that will completely become, when we simply do it, so it will become 0.75, which is there. Hmm. When we okay, yeah. So hmm, so it will become 0.5, and when we do half of this 0.5, so it will become 0.25, right? So okay. Hmm. So when we do half of it, so it will become 0.25, and this 0.25 then it will get accumulated to the next glasses which are there, means the next levels which are there, basically at the second level, means this one which is there. So now here left side will get 0.25 and the right side will also get 0.25. So this would be thing, and the one which was just above it, so it will be having just 1. Earlier it was having 1.5, now it will be having 1. So now as our row was 2, so C will increment to 1 and 1 is still less than our row. So that's why now when we go ahead, so again it and our R and C, R would be this one only, means now it will be taking this one glass because row is basically 1 only, right? And the glass will change to this one. So again the same thing will happen, and the other glasses which are there, so the first one which is there, so it will become 0.50 because it gets added up. And the second one which is there means at the rightmost part, it will get 0.25. And now as per the question, means as per this input, we require to second row and first class, right? So the second row and first class is having 0.25 and that would be returned here. So now comes the part, the time complexity and the space complexity for the same. So space complexity, you can clearly see that we are taking this 102 into 102, basically n square is the space complexity here. And the time complexity, for that purpose, we are going up to row query and this is going till whatever row we are going ahead. So basically again, the time complexity is also n square. So basically, this was all for today's question. If you have any doubt, you can comment that down. So this was all. And if you really like the solution which I have provided, do like and subscribe to my channel. And if you know anyone for which this solution could help, so you can share the video with that person as well. So this was all. Thank you.